breeze blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the pig's life is about to begin. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Well, there'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend Mike, he's your man. Then he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm, or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that was trying to hide. Look on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation. Yeah, here in Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation.
All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. What's happening? It's Thursday. I got a new streaming software, so I'm a little confused right now. I don't know.
You want to walk up there, or you want to go back? I don't think
We should be streaming a little differently here. Our chat program is looking a little different. I did it last night. If you were following, we did a little live storm chasing here in Florida. So yeah, let me mess around with a little bit. I got settings here in my chat. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger. Whoops. So we're going to go a little bigger for me. There we go. I can read that a little better right now. I'm getting old. I got to have bigger. I kind of like that one there. It's kind of big. Okay, let me close it out here. So I got a new company I'm trying out that enables me to read both chats at once. So give me a minute. We'll say hello to everybody. Slowly. It gives me a lot more data. Telling me my bit rate. Whoops, that didn't work. That's alright. That was my video running out. Oh, let's see. Video. Let's see. I'm going to mess around with the chat. So I have it. Okay, so we got chat overlay. Let me play around with this, see if I can change things on the fly here. Settings. Let me see if I can change it. I don't know if it's going to let me change it or not. If not, oh well. Let's see here. I see good chat though. Everybody's little things are coming up. I like that. I can see. Let's see here. I can kind of see everybody. See, I can't change the chat now that we're live. I have a feeling there's destinations chat. Nah, see, once I went live, I don't think I can change the chat. Darn it. Okay, well, that's what I wanted to see. But we got our regulars in here. I can kind of see what's going on. It's all new. I'll have to play with it a little bit. Now I can't find the other chat. There it is. Okay. All right, let me pull it up. I was hoping I could see the little, your little avatar thingies. Because I can on the main page. I might be able to just do it here. All right. Let's try this here real quick, chat. I kind of like that one, actually. because I can see everybody's little picture. So I can see the YouTube. All right, well, anyway, what's up? We should show Louie. Louie patiently is waiting. He was the first dog that came up today that wanted to be up here, so we chose Louie. All right, we'll play around with the chat settings another day. I need to change the color a little bit. But anyway, we'll go live now and just talk weather. New toys. Louie. What do you think, buddy? He's not too excited. So yeah, we did do a little storm chasing. How about those storms in Florida yesterday? God, they were incredible, weren't they? We were storm chasing here on the Florida West Coast, and man, they just popped out of nowhere. I was sitting at Courtney Campbell Causeway, and they were kind of going on down in St. Pete, looking towards Tampa, and then by me, Upper Pinellas, we had some hail. Definitely reports of hail in Pinellas Park, Largo area. But yeah, you know, the older you get, man, it's hard to teach dogs new tricks. But we're going to try it. Right? All right, so I see YouTube and Facebook chats. Ann Ortega, good morning to you. I like the program here. I don't know if I kind of want to see if I could get the chat a little different here. 2 seconds here. And then we'll go. Talk weather, I promise. It's like new toys. New toys are always fun. Oh, there's chat. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. I'm getting... All right. Hey. Might work now. Hang on. Might work now. Chat overlay. Hang on. We might be able to change some things up a little bit. Here we go. All right. All right, let's see if this works. All right, let's do scale. Let me make it bigger. Let's see what it looks like, 150%. Let's see if it automatically updates over there. This is the chat box above my head, Louie, right above here. But it's pretty neat, at least on the live stream, right, Shelly? We got YouTube chat and Facebook chat linked to one. I like that. So at least people can kind of see what's going on. We'll see if it updates to the scale just a little bit bigger. Maybe we'll do like 110. Then we have a message line at top. I will leave it right here and we'll see if that does anything. Anyway. All right. So, hey, let's talk weather. It's Thursday. We have a little bit of tropical action out there in the Atlantic we're going to talk about. Definitely going to feel tropical for some. There's no doubt about it. The NHC is marking it at 10% right now. What if I could put that over there? No, I didn't get any bigger yet. All right. Enough shenanigans for the day. Let's I'll mess around with it later. Let's do theme. Oh, we could change the theme. Oh my God, there's themes? Let's do default compact. Let's see what that looks like. I don't know if it's gonna... Say hit launch. Let me hit launch. What happens when I hit launch? Oh, I hit launch. Well, let's see what that does. Oh, I just hit launch. I don't even have to play the... Oh, I like that one better. All right, let me turn that off. Hang on. Today is a very random day of chats. All right. We'll leave it on right here for now. Okay. All right. So what the heck are we doing? We got Memorial Day weekend coming up. Big holiday weekend. Big thanks to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. We love this picture here. We got the great American flag and palm trees and blue sky. And, of course, ABC. All the things we love here, especially living in the great state of Florida. So I hope you get to visit them this weekend, especially if you're going to party. We are going to the Rays game Friday night. So if anybody's going to be at the Rays game, we'll be tailgating. Stop on by. We tailgate over there by Center Point Meats, which is the west side of the stadium. So, Memorial Day. We got some rainy action, unfortunately, for the Carolinas we're going to get into. Florida in the south looks great, so awesome picnics. Going to be a wonderful weekend for Upper Gulf, Florida, most of Georgia, maybe South Carolina. North Carolina is going to be iffy, at least the first part of the weekend. For sure. Let's talk about this little guy first, since we are talking tropics. And we'll just start focusing on this right here. Jamie wants to know, official hurricane season starts June the 1st, next Thursday. Unofficially, we started on May 15th. The NHC did start updating their outlooks. These little guys right here, these start on May 15th. So we already got 2 circles since May 15th. We had that one that was heading towards Bermuda. Now we got this little guy. It's at 10%. It's kind of an old frontal line, so it doesn't technically fit the description of a tropical system. So they want to see a tropical system detach itself from a frontal line. When they detach, they become tropical. So this one they don't expect is going to detach from that frontal line, meaning it can't be tropical. A lot of sciencey stuff. 10%, but we do have a lot of effects coming nonetheless. So that's the latest, 10%. We are going to, let's look at the surface chart. So Storm Prediction Center today is not like it was the last couple of days across the south. But we're still going to get isolated thunderstorms as always. Remember I was talking about this the other day. Even though we're in light green here and across the southeast, light green still means we can get isolated thunderstorms. We're just not as higher risk under marginal, widespread, a little more severe with hail and whatnot. But afternoon thunderstorms are upon us. It looks like the Florida West Coast is going to get more rain today, which is good. I don't like the pictures. Nadia's got names on these things. I'm going to close my little chat window and see if I can see a different way. I like this one down here, but I can only see so many at a time. How can I make it bigger? Oh, we can do that. I wonder if I could pop it over here now. Let's see. Ooh, might be able to. All right, give me a second. I might be able to trick something here. I think I'm going to be able to trick. Oh, I need to turn this off here. We don't want to replay and eat up bandwidth. So let me see here if I can. Oh, I might be able to do this. Let's see if I can do this. I'm trying to get the chat. I like the chat with the pictures on it. Anyway, but I can't really do it. Bummer. Bummer. All right. I'll have to mess with it later. Darn it. Let me try one more thing. Settings. Chat settings. I like being able to see the little overlay. Let's try one more time. Chat overlay. Darn it. I want to be able to see the people. I gotta see your little pictures so I know who I'm talking to. Otherwise, it's not very easy. Anyway, but maybe I'll just leave it on there just like this. I don't know. It's like teaching dogs new trick. There's mute. How do I even hit play here? Anyway, all right. So anyway, yeah. Hey, so listen, you're right, Miguel. So 11 o'clock today, big news. 11 o'clock this morning, NOAA's going to introduce their 2023 hurricane outlook. That'll be the official outlook. That'll be the one that gets all over the news today. You'll hear it a bazillion times, the outlook. My thoughts are probably going to be a tick below normal. They're going to talk a lot about El Nino, but then they're also going to talk a lot about warmer water, especially, across the main development region and in the Gulf of Mexico. So they're going to probably less numbers because of El Nino, but then maybe more numbers upwards because of the warmer water. That is my guess as we get an update at 11 o'clock. So that will be quite interesting to see what we get as far as the NHC goes. What's up, Jamie Foss? Good morning. Good morning, Teresa Sampson. Good morning, Susan from New York. Of course, we got Miss Shelley. What's up, Alicia? Coffee's in hand. Vicky, Jeffrey, over on YouTube. The video's better and Sounds better. Okay. It's a whole different company right now that I'm using. I'm paying both of them because I'm going to keep this one as a backup. Ooh, I don't know if I like the red box, though. I got to fix that, too. Man, I didn't do a good job on that. I got to... the red box. Whatever. I'll mess with it later. Give me something to do after. Waiting for that 11 o'clock advisory. So anyway, storms today. We're going to talk about the tropics real quick. This little guy right here. So let's look at today real quick. Let's dive right into everything. I'll kind of get on with the weather now. Worry about the chat another day. Interesting coverage map. I like to look at this map in the morning. This is a rain forecast map for today. And if you look at it, I'm just going to focus obviously on the south here because nobody else is really getting much. So we'll go southeast. But our low pressure is sliding through the state today and somewhat tomorrow. So we're going to have a low pressure come over here and get set up on the East Coast. Well, think about it. Low pressure spin this direction, right? Counterclockwise. So it looks like there's going to be more juice in the atmosphere today for middle of the state west. We haven't seen that all year long, right? So we're going to see, and then some of this is going to wrap back around to the southeast part of the state. But these are your rain chances today. A little less on the East Coast, more on the West Coast. That's something we haven't seen in a long time. And, of course, the Panhandle is still not getting much because dry air to the north, low pressure spinning. So a little bit of coastal maybe, but this is it for the south. A little bit more chances here across the west central Florida, and of course we need that. New drought index comes out today, right? Let's take a look and see if it came out yet on Thursday. Man, I feel like I'm so unprepared doing this one since I started this new toy thing. So I apologize if anybody is new. Did this one get updated? Yep, here's a new one. Just got released. No big changes. Here's your new drought index for Florida. This one got released today. So unfortunately, still red, which is an extreme drought across a big chunk of west central Florida. Now notice the inland areas, not as much. Remember, inland we had moderate drought on the East Coast. So everything's pretty much getting centralized now to west central now. Today, hopefully we get a more widespread rain coverage. Help this out a little bit. But after today, the rain chances are really disappearing. So this is what we'll look at today. Let's look at one thing today, and then we'll get into this weekend stuff. NASCAR is still looking iffy, man. It's going to be out of here. It's just a matter of when. Here's the radar today, and you can just kind of see coverage. This is afternoon, so. We got East Coast rains today right now going on this morning. We had storms this morning on the East Coast. We got storms down south expected soon. But then we get a lot more action here across the West Coast later this afternoon as our wind shifting is still going on. And you can detect a little bit of spin. So there you go. Florida Peninsula today. Rain, rain, rain. Right? Rain, 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 rain. Yeah, let's see if I can turn this off. Man, I don't know. This is so hard to figure out. All right, this weekend, here's bottom line. We have, where was my little Twitter box? I thought I saw something interesting here. Oh, that's a long ways out. Let's look at some surface charts, kind of showing you what's going on. So we got this low pressure. We got this old frontal line, been the story. It's kind of draped over Florida right here. This is kind of what's going on. And as you can see, later today, we're going to have that low starting to set up on the Florida East Coast today. Then we get into tomorrow. There it is. Getting into Friday a little bit. There's our low. Still attached to a frontal boundary. And here's tomorrow. Tomorrow, the rains are definitely going to be around, but not as much for the Florida West Coast as our low starts spinning just a little bit Friday morning. Friday afternoon, this low is going to start spreading northward. So tomorrow night, Friday, it's a question, but there are going to be some coastal areas that are going to get some action. we get into Saturday morning. There's where it begins. Saturday morning, look at that. Picture perfect across south. Picture perfect across the south. And most of the upper Gulf on Saturday morning. So beautiful Saturday for everybody here. Texas all the way across. But there's our low. Things start to go downhill for the Carolinas on Saturday. Heavy rain popping up Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. South Carolina, North Carolina primarily. Same as we've been seeing here the last several days. And here's Sunday morning. Low pressure. Tries to make it ashore. South Carolina, North Carolina, a little bit into Virginia. Sunday morning. Sunday night. This is the question for Charlotte. It's going to be pulling out of here Sunday night. Will it be enough? It's going to be hit or miss. But it definitely is going to be on the downhill slide on rain and storms as this thing goes inland. But NASCAR is going to be a little iffy on Sunday night. And then Monday, things really get nice here. So Monday doesn't look bad for most everybody. Monday, at least for Memorial Day, most everybody in the Carolinas will be drying out. Let's look at the individual model runs. Tropical tidbits. This is a really good idea of what's going on. I put this map together just a little bit ago. You can see it here. This was our our gathering of all the models on Tropical Tidbits, but I'm going to show you individually here, just to kind of give you the idea. So Friday, right off the coast on the GFS, we're starting to see things bubbling. Remember, we talk a lot about the Gulf Stream. The Gulf Stream is very warm. Hey, Shelly, chatbot. Uh-oh. Do they show on the regular chat, just not the one above me? Will they show on the regular Facebook page, maybe? Moist, Mr. Chris said. Yeah, we still have the storm that just passed through Guam over there. I think Chris sent me an image. I think it did intensify. Okay, not the combo chat. Yeah, the combo chat. I might just have to load it up the old way for the chat because it's really confusing me right now. There's too much going on this channel with this chat. I think I might just open up. Hey, what's up, Karen from St. Croix, Virgin Islands? I might just have to get in the habit of opening up the chat window. Let me try it. How long it's going to take me to do it here. So let me go to my YouTube channel. Go to my live. Let me open up my chat box. Because I think it's going to be easier to do it this way. Pop-up chat. Old dogs, new tricks. You can't change people. And then let me go to my Facebook here. I think it might just be easier to do it the old school way. Because I'm not up for change. And Shelly will tell you, I am one that does not like change. She's so frustrated with me a lot of times because I won't try anything new. Now I like it. All right, old school's the way to go. This is the way it's going to be. The chat thing up there might be the way to go because the radar thing doesn't always work. Phew, I like it better. MT Mapes, I'm back to normal again. I feel great. I can see both chats. I can see people's heads. Hey, I got some Chad Robbins if you're out there. I got my coffee, man. Thank you so much. Look at that, Shelly. Mountain to Sea Coffee. Chad does a lot of stuff. In fact, he gave me a letter here. I didn't even read it yet. Let's see real quick if there's anything in there. Coffee for my folks. This is new coffee. Okay. Oh, they work with new farmers. All right. Cool. I'll read the rest of it, man. Yeah, thanks, man. So Chad sends this for my mom and dad. And I might go to see mom and dad later. All right. All right, all weather from here on out. Promise. Thanks for bearing with me as we tried something. Uh-oh, Chad, you better send it to Shelly. You don't want her mad at you. All right, I like it better. All right, so we're going to talk about this low. So again, there's nothing to stress about. This tropical low, non-tropical low, whatever kind of low it is. Low pressures mean storms. It's going to spiral in rain and wind. So, and the Gulf Stream's 82 degrees. So we're going to see some storms bubbling later tomorrow on Friday, and especially Saturday. This is later tomorrow, Friday. Some of these are going to start inching into the Carolina coast, some into Georgia. But really the big impact is going to be overnight Friday into Saturday morning. And there you're going to see that big blob of rain, storms, whatever it's going to be. Heaviest side is always going to be on the right side, the counterclockwise side. So again, these storms are going to be firing up over that Gulf Stream, and Carolinas are still the main impact. Some of these might venture up into Virginia later through the week, but primarily Saturday is and part of Sunday is going to be the Carolinas. So there's GFS. It is going to go inland. Sunday night, GFS showing good. Maybe it'll be out of here for NASCAR. We're going to look at winds here in a second. I just want to give you an idea of how consistent they all are on the moisture and the timing. All right, here's Saturday morning on the Euro. You can just see the big blob. This one's a little tick south, more South Carolina. Initially Saturday, a little bit into Georgia still, a little bit down in northern Florida. But you can see the general feeling here all the way through the day Saturday. All this blob of stuff's going to get pushed up into the Carolinas, a little bit into Georgia. But the main impact is going to be the Carolinas on the Euro. Euro's a little slower. Sunday night, still kind of hanging out a little bit. The Euro's been bouncing between out of here and not. So that's why Sunday night is still going to be a little iffy for our NASCAR friends at Charlotte. Monday morning is perfect. I hope they don't have to run it on Monday. But all right, so the latest icon is showing this. A little more off the coast Saturday morning. Kind of makes its way inland. Same theme. Here's Saturday into Sunday. Carolinas. So you're getting the idea. Windy along the coast for sure. We already got gale warnings up for a big part of the East Coast. And then the Canadian model, same thing. Here's Friday night. A little bit of it starts making its way in tomorrow night. And then, of course, Saturday morning, it really pushes inland. And it's out of here almost Sunday night. They could start late. I seen them run that race at midnight before. We'll see how late they start it. But it's going to be a race. It's going to be a race for the race if Charlotte gets out of there as far as low pressure goes. So, hate to see that for everybody. But can't stop Mother Nature. All right, the other story is this. All right, this is the other story. All right, so here's Friday. We have a strong high pressure system to the north. That's why it's cool. If you notice it, it's pretty cool where you're at north. It's because we have a Arctic high that's kind of a surface high pressure. All-nighter, Chris says. What's up, YouTube? Kevin O, yeah, I hope so too, buddy. Harrisburg, PA. Hey, we'll look at you here. Don't remind me in a second. We'll tell you rain totals, Jonathan, yet in a second. A lot of lightning in the Keys. But tornadoes, Uwanda, yeah, you can always get tornadoes anytime you get a low pressure with squall lines coming in off of that Gulf Stream. So it's not going to be highlighted much as far as tornado watches, but you can never say never, as you can always get a spin up. They're rare. It usually takes a little more jet stream impact. I turn to places like this if you're worried about tornadoes. Look at the Storm Prediction Center. And let's just say, for example, this is for Saturday. And, a little bit of, they're showing the storms. But then you go up here to click the tornado. Well, that's 2 days out. They're not ready yet. Usually the next 2 days, they'll show you a tornado index. So like for tomorrow and Friday, nothing. So low chance. Never say never, but low chance. But the big story is the wind. All right, so we got this high pressure to the north. High pressure systems spinning. This low pressure is setting up, spinning this way. So Lots of wind. This is low level 10 meter winds here. This is, on the icon, 30, 40 knots, pushing straight down across the coast, right into northern Florida. So this is tomorrow night, kept showing late tomorrow night, overnight is the highest winds it does appear. This is overnight, Friday night into Saturday morning. These winds are going to be really coming down into northern Florida. I think the bigger story, more than anything, is going to be the coastal impacts to Florida, the Cape, Daytona Beach North, areas that were hit with Nicole. Some of the seawalls haven't been fully repaired yet. So these are going to be things to watch. Some of these rivers, St. John's, we could have some inland flooding definitely with these constant winds for a good solid day. So this is winds are going to be coming in directly from the northeast here. Euro showing pretty intense winds again. This is, straight line from that high pressure, just smack dab. Everybody along the East Coast is going to get a lot of surf. Carolinas down to Georgia, but this little pocket right here, we'll see how they push. Because they'll build, the waves build, and they just keep on trucking right into northern Florida. So again, late Friday night into Saturday morning seems to be the worst. But look at even the GFS, man, really putting in some surface winds down into the upper Florida here for overnight. So that's the second story. Some of the seas forecasts here. Let's take a look at that. This is still intense with the Euro. High seas still predicted, really high seas. They're building now, but as we get into tomorrow, man, look at that. This is tomorrow night. We're seeing a 40-foot max now out here just off the Carolina coast. Directional is, from the northeast to the southwest. They'll still impact the East Coast. There's no doubt about it. They're not going to be a direct impact, but they're going to be at least coming in off the Atlantic. But, we're still seeing 20, 25-foot seas, man, really close to that Florida upper coast. So big story, I think, is going to be the surprise here on the northern Florida impact overnight, Friday night into Saturday, how much beach action they got. St. Augustine high tide's about 2 in the morning on Saturday a.m., early Friday night, Saturday a.m. I always think, when I say Saturday 2 a.m., I think Sunday morning because I'm not in bed yet when I was a kid. So Saturday 2 a.m. to me meant the continuation of Saturday. But in reality, Saturday 2 a.m. is the continuation of Friday. So I say overnight Friday into Saturday. It makes life a whole lot easier. And then we can get some winds here as our low. Once our low starts to get going here and maybe gets a little tighter, those winds are now going to be turning towards the East Coast Outer Banks specifically, because that low is going to probably end up down in South Carolina. But as our low tightens up later Saturday here, we'll see that wind shift a little bit. And there's our weak low pressure system Saturday night. But these winds now are going to be incoming a little bit more head on to maybe watch across parts, Myrtle Beach, Wilmington. These will be a little more direct impacts. So your surf might pick up more later Saturday as our low shifts the winds and the low starts spinning up more towards you. Here's overnight Saturday, what I'm talking about. There's our weak low. Euro's bouncing this weak low all over the place, but the general thinking is the same. We could see some big winds and waves here across the Outer Banks overnight Saturday into Sunday. So that'll be the second area to watch. GFS showing the same thing. So, the focus will shift to late Saturday into Sunday as our low pressure starts pushing in winds and waves. So the Outer Banks is used to this, but they don't like it, I don't think. They get beat up pretty hard. Let's look at some rain totals. Rain totals for, let's just do a blend of models for now. We'll just go straight to the, we'll do, well, there's a good map there. I don't know if will it include Virginia. Probably want to hit Southeast. I kind of miss Virginia. I feel bad. Does anybody live in Virginia? I feel so bad. I don't talk about Virginia. I don't make the maps. All right. This is it, man. This is good stuff. Look at this. All right. So this is your next, through the weekend. This is a blend of models. I'll leave it up here for a second. Say hi to everybody. Hey, look at this. Got my cruise shirt on, Shelly. Cancun for the weekend, Lillian. How that sounds fun. I think you're fine. We'll take a look. Hey, Miss Bobby. Carolina's cool. I know it's cold. This is the rain totals through the weekend. We're gonna examine them. I'm slowing down a little bit to say hi to everybody. Yeah, don't forget our cruise. I linked it yesterday. I hope everybody's checking it out. We're gonna limit it to 50 cabins. All right, so there's your rainfall totals, Mr. Jonathan. Obviously, coastal areas could see quite a bit. Now, this is a blend of models. This is a cool model map because it takes in all the models, kind of puts them together. Statistical stuff. What we've been seeing in Florida the last few days is so important to note that isolated storms and rain training can really up the numbers. And we could see some rain training across Carolina, especially North Carolina, if one of these bands sets up. But that's pretty heavy coverage. I mean, 4 inches, 3 inches, 2 inches, all the way up to the mountains. You know, this is obviously through the week. You can see how the Florida coverage is starting to decrease. Obviously, the panhandle is completely out of it, low pressure. You can kind of follow what the heck's going on here, too, because look, all this dry air is blowing in here, limiting the rainfall potential. But there's our low setting up. Let's look at the water vapor loop. I bet you it looks pretty fancy right now with the dry air across the southeast, because we'll take a looky here if we can see if there's any dry air showing. Yeah, there you go. Kind of see it. Hey, look at that little guy. Cute little guy. What is it? I don't even know what it is. This kind of shows it. You need to go to a bigger map. Well, yeah, we got a lot. Look at that. We got a lot of tropical color here. That's the low we're watching. NHC's solidly thinks it's not going to get detached from our front. Let's see what the old Euro map's showing this morning. It was pretty high color yesterday. Oh, let's see what it's doing today. Nothing again. So it's back to nothing again. I swear that NHC likes this map because it goes off of it a lot. But yeah, you know, I don't know. This is a prime example of watching things in real time. There's enough models showing this thing tightening up. And, you know, we talk about the warm Gulf Stream all the time. How things can, you know, get popping a little bit. Now, the waters are cooler to the coast. That's good news. So, like, again, no, you know, chances of a hurricane almost Zippo. Almost. You never say never, but pretty much Zippo. But, you know, it will look tropical. There will be feeder bands rotating around. There will be. You can almost bet money. Today's Thursday, so maybe the HRR goes out that far. Let's take a look. Let's see if it does or not. I don't know if we're going to get too much yet. Probably later today we'll see a little bit better chances of seeing see the rotation. This is basically tomorrow into early Saturday morning. So this only goes out to Saturday morning. But you can see it. See, so you're going to see these little feeder bands. These are going to be, you know, storms. They're going to rotate around the center. I mean, you can see it. this is going to look, it'll look kind of tropical. You know, there's your low. You're going to see these bands rotating in like you always see, spinning around. People are going to see radar and say, what is that? What's going on? But we could see some storms definitely with these, Charleston, Savannah, Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, all these little towns everybody's watching. And you're going to see action all the way. It's going to start tomorrow, I have a feeling. Here's tomorrow morning, Friday morning. You're going to start feeling this throughout the day on Friday as it inches your way. And then obviously Saturday's really starts to come in. But nothing's really changed. And what's interesting to note here for Friday tomorrow, you can start to see these storms now. Look at how they rotate down into Florida. They actually spin right through the state. They're going to be doing this on the backside of that low. Follow it. You can see it. Pretty cool. Watch. Oh. 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 Oh, man. I get excited about nothing. Temperatures, though. Everybody talk about the temps. Let's look at the temps. We had a really cool morning out there. Pleasantly, for many, the cold air up north has pretty much helped things get cool. So let's rewind it back to, what time would that be? We do 12Z. We can do wake up temps right around there. What's 12Z at? About right there. Ooh, look at this, man. Look at these temps this morning. Jeez. All right, let's do about right here. This is almost sunrise. Look at this. Let's do, we'll just do the whole dang image here. Look at this. Open image, new tab. Look at this. This was this morning. Look at that. Man, we had 30s in New York. Almost freezing. We had parts of Michigan that were freezing. We had 50s all the way down to Georgia. Georgia line. We some of the Panhandle might have had 59 this morning. This is this morning's temperatures. We had 49 in Carolinas. Man, that was a cool morning. Strong high pressure system over top, spinning in cold attic air. So pretty nice, right? Pretty nice. And when I was out there chasing the storms yesterday, we saw the temperature drop in my truck quite a bit. Remember, we went from like 88 down to 71 in that thunderstorm. So yeah, look at that, man. That's a pretty cool morning. You can see the old surface chart showing kind of what's going on here. Sometimes you can see it on the windy map. Let's see. Where would be a good place to look at surface charts? Maybe. We do have a couple of tropical waves, by the way. Look at this. Kind of. Nothing's expected to develop, but kind of weird to see 3 tropical waves early in the season. Three. And the ITCZ line, which is the Intertropics Convergence Zone, is actually a little farther north. Usually that's a little farther south early season. These waves right along that. You can see it really cool when you look at the wind map here. Here it is. You should be able to see it. Kind of see it. It's where the winds in the north meet the winds in the south, and you kind of follow along. The winds come up here, winds come down there. Normally, the winds start to pull in a little bit more like that peak season, and you get a lot more chances of these things spinning up into tropical systems. But this is the way they are early in the season. So they kind of just push these tropical waves along, not really showing any rotation. Really early for that. You don't get that kind of stuff early season. But you'll see them here on satellite, kind of. Kind of see some juice out there bubbling. So, but anyway, Josh says his attic air is 120. Here's a radar right up smack dab over Shelly's house. Look at that. That was there this morning. We even had a little lightning. Morning, Sherry Brown. A lot of wind in Virginia. I believe it, Miss Rosie Crump. It is windy. We could look at that too. Wind alert. It's got a really cool site here that you can see real-time wind data. Right here. You can just see these winds, and they're all pretty gusty. Solid 20, 30s locked in here. These are pushing in from the northeast. But you can see the overall wind direction is pretty much coming straight down for the northeast here along the beaches. So very windy day. Again, very curious here tomorrow night. You know, what happens here as these winds and waves start to really roll in here with the high tide, overnight. We're not in a new moon, which helps. But anyway, Shelly, you got woke up at 5 a.m.? Anyway, I'm getting texts from people watching the chat. Anyway, all right, well, we'll leave up the last few minutes here for questions. Anybody got anything good? No stress in the tropics, but it is going to stress out people with Memorial Day plans, weekend plans across the Carolinas. So that's something we can't get away from. Miss Ann. Miss Sue Hausman. Have a great weekend, everybody. Yeah, we're going to be live tomorrow. Don't forget, any fans of my buddy Dennis Phillips. Dennis Phillips is doing a Crooked Thumb Brewery tomorrow. They're doing his suspender can release, rule number 7. Look him up on Facebook. I think it's around noontime. Good friend of mine over the years. I won't be around Saturday. Did I say tomorrow? But Saturday. You can go check him out. Meet the great Dennis Phillips. But yeah, we'll be live tomorrow. So, Dominican Republic. What's up, Christy James? I don't think you got much coming. These waves. Let's take a look long range here. These waves. Well, it's a little too early for anything really to reach you guys yet. Let me get a little bit of juice. Let's see if the Euro's showing it. Maybe. Nah. You might get a little bit of off and on rains. So let's pull this one up here a little closer. So if anything, this frontal line, we got Bermuda watching too. So this kind of showed up on the Euro. So this is Monday, but you can kind of see this moisture line kind of wrapping around it here. So there's Bermuda. There's DR down here. Could be a little bit of rains popping from that flow. You can kind of follow it, see? A little bit, and then the thing really dries up after that as far as from that low. So Bermuda's going to get some Monday, it looks like, from that system. GFS showing the same thing. There's Monday and Tuesday leftover low pushing off some juice that might be reaching. There's nothing organized though. These waves aren't really going to make it there. Jonathan, that's a good question. 4 tide cycles. I don't know. I would think there'd be days that they wouldn't be. Maybe 3. I think I've seen 3-day tide cycles. It has to catch up. I don't think it's a solid 12 hours. But go to Tide's chart. I got this great link down here. I love this site. Tideschart.com. Yeah, I mean, like here's Monday for me. Only showing 3. Probably because the next one extends into the following morning, 12:42. Yeah, so I think it's more 3 to 4. They're not solid 12 hours. Yeah, I'm sure it fluctuates. I don't know. I'm not a big Tide guru, but I can go to tideschart.com and act like one. All right, so weather in a nutshell. All right, so we got Florida rains again today, popping pretty much Florida Peninsula today. Low pressure sliding through the state. So rain's going to be off and on today. Some thunderstorms, not as many as yesterday, but still be thunderstorms out there today. Tomorrow, the low pressure starts to set up off the east coast. Still going to have some storms whip around through the state, but not as many, especially on the southwest side. It's going to start pushing up into Georgia and South Carolina tomorrow, maybe even North Carolina tomorrow. But pretty much as tomorrow night rolls in, this low is going to start building up some speed and steam off that warm Gulf Stream. And I suspect we're going to see some good little thunderstorms rolling in on the top side as it spins around, which would mean Carolinas mainly. So we'll be watching for that. You know, big winds tomorrow night for the northern Florida coming in off the Atlantic, big high seas. We have gale warnings in effect for a big part of the Atlantic here. Look at this. These are all gale warnings. Basically from North Florida all the way up. You know, the warnings are extending all the way to North Carolina. And here's what we got. Gale warnings. So that's pretty much going to be the story all the way to Saturday, I believe. Gale warnings. Gale warnings. Definitely not any boating conditions off the East Coast. No way. And some of these winds are going to stretch to the state too. So if you've got golf plans, I would be paying attention to this, especially tomorrow. Let's see if some of these cross over. Yeah, we'll get some crossover tomorrow. So windy day, at least on the north side of Florida tomorrow. Pass through the state. This is tomorrow, 2 p.m. But we're already showing heavy winds tomorrow afternoon. Heavy winds Saturday overnight, even into Florida. So these winds are it's going to be windy across the northern part of the state. This is overnight Friday, man. Through Gainesville. If the dorm room is rocking, don't come knocking. Lieutenant Dan. Hey, congratulations to all of the kids, by the way. The last day of school today for many. I posted Sarah's picture yesterday. It was great. She got a nice award. So last day, we're going to the Rays game to celebrate tomorrow. And there you go. So that's kind of weather in a nutshell. Sorry for the confusion at the beginning as I tested a new setup here. But let's see if we're actually streaming over on Twitter. That was my goal because we lost that. And I wanted to get it back. So that was kind of the whole point of this whole thing. So let's go to see if we're streaming. We are. With 5 people. That's all right. People go back and watch it. We'll have to see how the chat worked out too. You have to let me know. All right. Well, we almost were an hour. Let's do the last few minutes here. Any more questions? I can look for anybody specifically. Valerie Bowery, good morning. Morgana. Hey, Judith. I saw your picture. Look at that. Let's see if I got any eHarmony emails today. Oh, I did see. Oh, it does look like a cruise ship. Let's see if I can show this without your name being shown. So Judith sent me this picture, and it does look like a big cruise ship coming in at you. See that big old cruise ship? That means you want to go on our cruise. That's somebody telling you something there. You want to go on our MWP cruise in March. That's subliminal messaging. Let's take a look at our Pacific storm, or not even Pacific. I'm terrible with other continents. The Guam store. Let's go to Tropical Tidbits. You can take a look. It's how do you pronounce it anyways? Is it Mawar? Mawar? Well, anyways, the winds have picked up. Remember the eyewall went through a eyewall replacement right before Guam. Luckily, it weakened a little bit. Then it came back strong and bigger as they normally do. Ian went through a eyewall replacement cycle right before landfall, which made it more far-reaching, more problems. But last forecast, here's a track. I believe the winds are up to expected to peak at 155 knots. Man, it's going to maximum significant wave height of 63 feet. Max winds are going to be 155 knots. Let's do a conversion because I am terrible. That would be 178 miles an hour with gust to 229 miles an hour. Oh, that's 190 miles an hour. Hold on. 218 mile an hour gusts. Couldn't imagine. Luckily, it's on open water right now. It looks like it's going to weaken some before any potential second landfall. So that's at least some good news. I haven't really heard how Guam's doing. I know the radar is down. Daily Brew on the ship. What's up, Mary Carol Chapman? Crazy. All right, well, we got one more day tomorrow. We'll do our live tomorrow. We'll keep up on this low. I'll be posting all day today. We got 11 o'clock now. Listen, 11 o'clock, we got a brand new NOAA weather NHC official outlook for the season that's coming. It's big news. I'll make sure I share it as soon as it comes out. That'll be 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern. And we'll see what they predict for the season. And that'll be all over the news. But we've already talked about it a bazillion times here on our show. So everybody should be. No, hey, Chad, I see you in there, man. Thanks for the coffee, buddy. I don't know if you saw the shout out or not. We appreciate that. That was nice of ya. So here we go. Father's Day. Don't forget Furman 30% off generators. You can't beat it. Free shipping. You can get a awesome weather station 10% off. They're running a free shipping special right now. Got to follow that link though to get the 10% off. Of course, we got our new T-shirts out, which everybody's loving. Our yearly tradition this year says it only takes one. It's got all the names on it. People have been tagging us a lot. I really appreciate it. If you do tag, great. I try to reshare it, at least especially on Twitter. It's easier to reshare there. So appreciate that. And don't forget all of our great supporters here, especially local supporters. We appreciate that. All right. So have a great day. If we don't see you tomorrow, hope you enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. If you're off, we're going to be watching tropical storm, feel like tropical storm conditions across the East Coast, starting as early as tomorrow night. So for sure, if you got anybody living along the Carolina coast, it'll feel like a tropical system, but it won't officially be a tropical system, if that makes any sense. Oh, it's a wannabe tropical system. All right, cool. All right, everybody have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to mess around with this new program I got, see if I can figure it out. We'll try to make it a little bit more easier tomorrow when we go live, but I'll see how that chat thing above me worked. Might be cool. All right, we'll see you. See you tomorrow.